First, find a t-shirt that fits you nicely but not too tight. Fold it in half and place it down on a piece of paper. Start the bodice pattern an inch away from the shoulder seams, around the armholes, down the side seams, across, with an extra 2.5 inches in the center, up the center seam, all the way across, meeting up with the initial start point. Smooth out the lines of your pattern, pointing an arrow to the center seam, right on fold. Write that this is the top and cut to, and you can name the pattern if you want to. The t-shirt that I used to make this pattern was more form-fitting in the waist, and I followed the curve of the shirt when I traced it out on pattern paper. But I will not be using the curve when I make this top. I used a straight line from the bottom of the armpit to the bottom of the top. I kept the tapering in on the actual pattern so I'd know where my waist would be on any future times I use this pattern. Find a pair of lightweight, non-stretch shorts that have an elastic or a drawstring waistband. Use the shorts to make a pattern for the front of the shorts and the back of the shorts. The pockets are optional and the waistband is not needed. Make sure to leave extra seam allowance for the hems for the bottoms of the shorts when drawing up the patterns. For the ruffle measurement, I measured around my shoulders where the ruffle will be placed, and it came out to be 42 inches wide. I multiplied that measurement by 1.5 to find the least amount to make the smallest ruffle. I wanted more ruffles, so I made the measurement even longer, and I just ended up using 2 cuts of the width of the fabric. During this video, you can either use a sewing machine or a serger. I used both. Find a lightweight, non-stretchy fabric that you like and have at least 2 yards. I had 3 just in case I made a mistake. For the romper, I cut 2 front shorts pieces, 2 back shorts pieces, 2 tops on fold, and 2 ruffle pieces, which were 6.5 inches long by 54 inches wide, which was also the width of the fabric. Grab a front shorts piece and a back shorts piece and face them right sides together. Sew them together in the inner leg seams. Repeat with the other 2 shorts pieces. Grab both halves of the shorts, open them up, and face them right sides together. Sew the inner crotch seam together. Once the crotch seam is sewn, fold the shorts the other way while still inside out so it looks like a regular pair of shorts. Sew the side seams of the shorts together. Once you get to this point, take a break on the shorts and move to the top. Next, grab the 2 rectangles that will become the ruffles on the sleeve and the top. Sew them right sides together on each side. Next, fold the side seams of the ruffle together and put pins at the halfway points of each side. Next, we're going to take a short break from the ruffle and work on the top, but we'll be right back to working on the ruffle. Next, serge or zigzag stitch the armpit seam. Line up the 2 bodice pieces right sides together and sew down the side seams on each side. Once the side seams are sewn, fold over and sew down the armpit seams. Find and pin the midpoint of each side of the bodice. Line up the midpoint of the bodice to the midpoint of the frill and sew them together. Repeat with the back and make sure all the extra frill fabric is on the sides where the shoulders will be. Once the 2 pieces are sewn together, serge the top of the frill and the top of the bodice. Also serge the bottom of the bodice. Fold over twice the bottom edge of the frill and sew it down. Fold over twice the bottom edge of the shorts and sew it down. Then serge around the waist area of the shorts. Fold the top edge of the top and frill over to create a channel wide enough for your elastic to go through. I chose to use a 1/2 inch wide elastic. Make sure the width of the channel is not too wide or too tight for the elastic. I chose to make things difficult and sew the channel with the elastic inside it. I had to do it in segments. It was a very long and tedious part of this project. Match up the side seams of the finished top and the bottom right sides together. Either the bottom of the top or the waist of the shorts may be larger than the other. If so, gather the fabric so that they are the same size. Just make sure not to overly gather, or else it might be difficult for you to put the romper on. Listen to this part before you try and sew it yourself. When lining up the waistline of the bottoms and the bottom of the top, make sure that the edges don't exactly match up. Make sure that one is about 3/4 of an inch away from the edge of the other, even though they are right sides together. Sew this down. Then turn it right sides out. Sew the extra tab of fabric down, creating a little channel in the center of your romper. Cut 2 small holes in the center of the channel around the waist. Use a needle and thread and hand sew around each of those openings to prevent from further fraying. Don't worry, you're almost done. Lastly, I cut a long strip of fabric approximately 84 inches long. I ironed it in half, wrong sides facing each other, and folded the raw edges inside of the fold and sewed down on the edge of the long strip. Use a small pin that is pinned to the waist tie to guide the tie through the channel around the waist. You're all done. Now you have a perfect romper. You can wear it with the frill over your shoulders or hanging off the sides of your shoulder. It's up to you. I hope you all have a great day and think that this video is helpful in making a romper of your own.